Welcome to this edition of UCentral News. I'm Lily Myers.
And I'm Tyler Whitehead.
Sudan's military seized power today, removing the transitional government hours after troops arrested the prime minister. Thousands of people flooded into the streets to protest the coup that threatens the country's shaky progress toward democracy. 3 protesters were killed and 80 wounded after security forces opened fire on the crowds. The takeover comes just weeks before the military was supposed to hand the leadership of the council that runs the country over to civilians. And President Joe Biden brought his push for his infrastructure plan to New Jersey in a press conference today, highlighting the $2 billion project included in this bill. This comes after the frantic work of Democrats to shore up the revenue side of his domestic package. Biden says he's hopeful that his talks with Congress can wrap up overall agreement on the package this week.
And if you use Facebook, listen up. Many media organizations across the world are coming together to form the Facebook Papers, where they analyze the thousands of documents of internalized information about the platform that was unveiled by the Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen. Some of the analyzed details have been released today, involving the company's lack of moderators that speak local languages in different countries. I will have more on that in social media.
And right now on campus, UCO says it has 20 active cases and just over 1,100 recoveries. The university has seen over 1,100 cases since August last year.
And as for Oklahoma COVID numbers, the State Department of Health is reporting 462 new cases across the state today. This brings the total number of active cases to over 6,000. Almost 600 Oklahomans are hospitalized with the virus. 192 are in the ICU.
The University of Central Oklahoma Foundation and the family of Marissa Murrow have created a legacy scholarship to honor her memory. Murrow died in a head-on car collision in October 2020 by a driver under the influence of alcohol. The Live with Heart Legacy Scholarship will benefit students actively involved with the Sigma Kappa sorority at UCO. Their hope is that the sorority's values are carried out to celebrate her legacy.
And greenhouse gases have reached a new high. The World Meteorological Organization announced the new high today. Last year's greenhouse gas increase was also the largest increase in the last decade. This news came as the United Nations warned that the world is off target for its goal of cutting emissions to curb global warming. The report also draws on information gathered by a network that monitors the amount of greenhouse gases that remain in the atmosphere. And the pandemic continues to affect school today, including the international student body. UCentral's Joseph Morales covered how COVID affected international student workers on campus. Here's his story.
Many student workers lost their jobs due to the pandemic that forced the University of Central Oklahoma to shut down and go completely online. But a few students could keep their jobs in spite of the pandemic and economic crisis. What we do not imagine is that some of the pandemic survivors were international students.
Yeah, it was definitely a scary situation for every one of us, especially for student employees. And since I'm an international student, this job really means a lot to me, and I do depend on it in some way.
As offices were closing down, I did visually see a lot of people losing their jobs. It was definitely a scary experience because international students only rely on their on-campus jobs, so they can't work elsewhere.
These international students who keep some of the offices of the university running are more than thankful.
Very thankful that our supervisors and just staff at OGA were super friendly, super supportive.
I work with people who understands the struggle, what it's like to be an international student and coping with heavy costs.
The pandemic affected more than 100 student employees at the university, but not these 2 international students who are now pandemic survivors. In Edmond, Joseph Morales, UCentral News.
Thanks, Joseph. And it's been a beautiful fall day outside today.
It really has been. I'm going to be very curious to see if this weather decides to stick around. Patrick, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Tyler and Lillian. That's right. It is a gorgeous day here in Edmond, Oklahoma right now. We got a chance for some severe weather. That comes tomorrow. We'll get to that a little bit later, but 72 degrees and partly cloudy right now. East winds at about 8 miles per hour. The humidity's hovering right around 46%, and there's no real heat index or wind wind chill right now, so 72 degrees is what it feels like. Weather headlines, as I mentioned, you got clear tonight. Got a chance of severe thunderstorms with some strong driving winds tomorrow evening into the overnight hours, and then the chances of rain continue Wednesday throughout the day. We'll get to more of that, in my 7-day forecast, but for now, back to the desk.
And speaking of fall, UCentral's Amber Poston has the pumpkin hookup for you. Let's see what she found here in Edmond.
Looking for something local to do? Fall is now here, and there's so many different pumpkin patches. The question is, which one should we go to? The Edmond Pumpkin Patch and Christmas tree stand has many different varieties of big to small pumpkins to choose from. When it comes to pumpkin patches, it brings so many families together to create such special memories for adults and kids, and this is what this pumpkin patch does. There are many different activities to do when it comes to games. They have cornhole, ring toss games for kids or even adults. I spoke to manager Tanner Justice about what he finds about being so local, so special.
Interaction, so it's not just coming and getting a pumpkin that we brought in from the fields, but it's more like sharing family stories, recipes, cultures, different things like that, seeing the kids giving a little baby their first pumpkin.
This pumpkin patch is open from September all the way to December as they bring in Christmas trees. It can be hard to just pick one or a few. With the business being local, there are many pumpkins that are different than any other pumpkins from any national grocery store. They bring pumpkins all throughout Christmas and fall, bringing Christmas trees in the winter.
Anybody can put a pumpkin in a box and sell it, but it's a whole different thing to actually know the people and have them get involved with the other community members that come and hang out with us. So I think that's the main thing, is it's hard to love somebody from that far away.
This pumpkin patch is located on Broadway and 15th Street if you're interested. In Edmond, Amber Poston, UCentral News.
Thanks, Amber. UCO's Office of Diversity and Inclusion is hosting this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Oratory Competition. This year's theme is based after a quote by King. The qualifying round is November 12th and the final round is in January 2022. Students who place third or higher can win cash. Applications are due November 5th.
UCO faculty are encouraged to submit an administrative withdrawal for students who have never physically attended or logged into an online full-term class. The deadline to submit an administrative withdrawal is Friday, November 5th. For questions regarding if a student is eligible for this, contact Student Advocacy.
Applications for the Diversity Leadership Institute are now available. The Institute does workshops and trips that promote cultural competence and transformative learning. This year's trips include Tulsa, St. Louis, Missouri, and Chicago. The organization is open for all students. Applications are due by November 1st.
UCO's International Student Council is hosting Edmond's International Festival on November 6th. The festival will have showcases from different countries and regions. These include booths, live performances, and food. The event will be at the Edmond Farmers Market from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And you've got questions, we've got answers. You can join UCO Health Promotion and a panel of medical professionals to get answers to questions regarding COVID-19. You can watch this event on Facebook Live tonight from 6 to 7. Your questions will be answered in the safe space.
And Tyler, today is a beautiful day, but is it going to stay that way?
That's right. Patrick will tell us more about that after this.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Hey Edmond, it's a gorgeous day across the state here in Oklahoma. 73 degrees is your current temperature in Woodward, 81 degrees down in Altus, 72 is your current temperature here in the Edmond, Oklahoma City metro area, 67 degrees in Tulsa, and then you got 79 degrees down there in Idabel, Oklahoma. When we take a look at tonight here in the Edmond area, 56 degrees and clear skies, winds out of the southeast at about 8 miles per hour, humidity is hovering right around 77%. No chance of rain tonight. All that rain and thunderstorm and potential for severe weather comes tomorrow afternoon, evening, and then we get some of that rain carrying over into Wednesday. Tonight across the state, though, clear skies mostly across the state. 54 degrees in Guymon, 55 here in Clinton, 58 down there in Altus, 56 as I just mentioned in the Edmond, Oklahoma City metro area, 52 degrees over there in Tulsa, and then 45 degrees up there in Miami. So Miami, Oklahoma has a pretty cool night ahead of them. When we take a look at highs across the state, it'll be a relatively warm day tomorrow across the state. 86 up there in the Panhandle for your high, 86 down there in Lawton for your high, 81 degrees in Oklahoma City, Edmond area, 78 in Tulsa, and then 80 degrees up in Ponca City. When we take a look at the hourly forecast for tomorrow, 7 a.m. it's going to be 58 degrees and cool with partly cloudy skies. Noon it'll be breezy and 73 degrees with partly cloudy skies, but by 7 p.m. we'll see that chance for severe weather, thunderstorms, rain, all rolling into the Edmond, Oklahoma City metro area. Current temperature right around then should be about 77 degrees. 7-day forecast for the week. Monday you got 72 degrees as your high, 56 will be your low tonight. 81 degrees is your high tomorrow with 58 is your low, 80% chance of severe weather. Be smart tomorrow. Take your weather precautions. Make plans with your friends, with your family. Be safe tomorrow. Wednesday, you see the 40% chance of, that's going to mainly be some rain. There could be a couple thunderstorms here and there. 67 degrees is your high, 52 is your low. Thursday is 65 is your high, partly cloudy skies, 47 is your low. And taking a look at the rest of the weekend, 65 degrees on Friday, 42 your low. And then you got 69 on Saturday and Sunday with 47 being your low. That's going to do it for weather. Let's go ahead and toss it back to the desk to Tyler and Lillian.
And coming up, more information about a well-known platform you probably use.
Plus, more information about a shooting on a Hollywood set after this.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to UCentral News. I'm Tyler Whitehead, and here is your social media update. A major topic of discussion across social media is Facebook. Many media organizations work together to gain access to the thousands of pages of internal company documents released by the Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen. These organizations have begun releasing content relating to their analysis of the papers today. One of the issues that has been revealed is that in some regions of the world, terrorist content and hate speech accelerate because the company is short on moderators that speak local languages and understand cultural contexts. More information is being unveiled. We will keep you updated with this developing topic. And another major topic is the incident of Alec Baldwin firing a gun on the set of the film Rust, killing a cinematographer. According to a camera operator, Baldwin had been careful with weapons on the set of the film up to this point. The incident happened while he was rehearsing a scene where he was supposed to sit in a church and fire the gun at the camera. The assistant director had handed it to him and announced it was a cold gun, which means it was safe to use. The camera was not rolling when the gun went off, killing the cinematographer Helena Hutchins and injuring the director. The director's statements were in an affidavit released yesterday explaining that there was turmoil on the set the day of the shooting, and several of the camera crew walked away from the production due to payment and lodging, so there was only one camera available to shoot the scene. And the incident has caused an outcry on social media, with many people comparing it to Brandon Lee's death on the set of The Crow. Memes and other messages have been featured across platforms, but the former president's son, Donald Trump Jr., had a t-shirt released in response. The shirt reads, quote, "Guns don't kill people, Alec Baldwin kills people," end quote. Many people have been responding to this, calling it inappropriate and making their own slogans mocking him. And in the world of television, the actor who played the manager of the coffee shop on the show Friends has died. He passed away in his Los Angeles home after his battle with prostate cancer. His representative released a statement saying, quote, "The world knew him as Gunther, the seventh friend from the hit series Friends, but Michael's loved ones knew him as an actor, musician, cancer awareness advocate, and loving husband," end quote. He was featured in other series like Scrubs, Modern Music, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Well, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss out on anything UCentral News. I hope you all have a great day. Lily, what do we have coming up?
Thanks, Tyler. And after this, we're going to check with Brady for our UCentral Sports Update.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Bronco fans. I'm Brady Gray, and this is your UCentral News Sports Update. The UCO football team hosted Washburn for homecoming over the weekend, and this game was a wild one. After a back-and-forth first three quarters, the Broncos managed to take a 17-16 lead with 3 minutes remaining. However, Washburn took the ensuing kickoff 90 yards to the house to retake the lead. With one last chance on 4th and long, UCO fumbled the ball in the backfield, and Washburn returned it all the way for a garbage time scoop and score touchdown, making the final score 29-17. UCO will look to bounce back this Saturday at Pittsburgh State. And last week, UCO tennis players May and Christine Canetti won first place in doubles at the ITA National Championships. I caught up with them at practice last week to talk about the experience and what it was like doing it with your family.
Growing up, May and Christine Canetti always played tennis together, and competition is always there when your practice partner is also your sister.
I got myself a nice built-in partner over here. Sam. Who kind of knows my style, I guess, yeah.
And because of that, head coach Joe Van said pairing them together as a doubles team was an easy decision.
The way they communicate with each other is, it's almost like they've been a pair for so long already that they kind of, there's those forms of communication that you kind of have to work through at the beginning with freshmen and sophomores. Some of the underclassmen, they already have a lot of that stuff down.
But despite their chemistry, some things still needed fixed throughout the season.
A lot of trial and error. Yeah, it was a lot of trial and error. We just definitely had to work on what it is that we know and just further on that.
But like from the start, everything, it was just about between the two of us within the team making all those adjustments in order to put us in the right position.
I typically ask, brothers and sisters, do you really want to try to play with each other? And they both said yes, that's something that they wanted to try to achieve. So they wanted to try it out, see how it went, see if some of that old magic that they had in juniors could translate into college, and it did. It worked really well.
It worked so well, in fact, May and Christine became the first doubles team to win a national championship in UCO history. A special feeling for sure.
It's really awesome.
It's awesome.
We didn't know until after the fact,
yeah.
So that kind of just added a little.
It was like a cherry on top, and it feels great to be able to do something for the school that's given both me and my sister so much.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's special because it's special for the girls. It's special to see all the work and early mornings that we've had, late nights, long practice sessions, to see all that hard work pay off.
But that still leaves one question. Which sister is the better tennis player?
I'm older.
Well, you can answer that question for yourself. Yeah.
Reporting from Edmond, Oklahoma, Brady Gray, UCentral News.
That's all I have for sports today. For more news, scores, and updates on everything UCentral sports, be sure to visit our website at broncosports.com. Have a great day, Edmond. Back to Tyler and Lily at the desk.
Thanks, Brady. And after this, a fun event on campus that students are howling about.
And one final look at weather. Stay with us.
we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
We have breaking news. Judge Stephen Friett has declined to block Oklahoma from its first execution in more than 6 years. This ruling directly affects the execution of Julius Jones in 3 weeks. The next execution is scheduled to happen Thursday for John Grant.
And you can join UCO Health Promotion to meet the UCO Bronco Barkers and Stress Paw Therapy Dogs at Pawtoberfest tomorrow from 3 to 5 p.m. in Plunkett Park. Free Bronco Barkers t-shirts will be available. For questions, email UCO Health Promotion.
And that weather outside has just been really nice. Temperatures have been dropping. We've been finally busting out those sweaters, but we're going to actually toss things over to Patrick with our last look at weather.
Patrick, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Tyler and Lillian. That's right. It is a gorgeous day outside today right now. 72 degrees and partly cloudy. 56 is going to be your low tonight. Tomorrow, you see that 80% chance of some thunderstorms. Got a chance of severe weather, strong winds, thunderstorms, heavy rain. Take your precautions with your friends, with your family. Make a plan. Be safe tomorrow. 58 degrees will be your low tomorrow night. Got a chance for some overnight showers and some overnight thunderstorms into Wednesday. Wednesday, there's pretty much a constant chance of rain and thunderstorms all day. 40% chance. 67 degrees is your high. 52 is your low. And when you look at Thursday, you got partly cloudy skies. 65 is your high. 47 is your low. And then taking a look at the weekend, you see mid to upper 60s on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then for your lows, you see 42 and 47 on Friday and Saturday. That's going to do it for weather. Let's go ahead and toss it back to the desk. Be safe tomorrow.
Thanks, Patrick. And speaking of that severe weather, make sure you have your safety in case we do need to seek shelter. Make sure you go to the innermost room of your house or seek shelter underneath. I know there's a shelter in the quad and the Max Chambers Library in case of any severe weather.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to see what comes out of tomorrow. Well, that's all we have for you today, Edmond.
Have a great night.